we brought together across 5 cities roundtables of student representatives and SU professionals, employers and careers professionals to talk about the next decade of career support for students.
So for the first kind of 10, 15 minutes, we're going to focus on the student perspective specifically because, let's face it, that's why we're all here.
We're going to spend a bit of time asking you to talk about and think about the implications.
So I'm Gianina and I'm Head of Service at the University of Greenwich. And our powerful question is, what does transitioning mean, taking into account that students transition into study, then into internships, then into placements, maybe transitioning into postgraduates, and then into graduation?
Well, our question is, when should we start talking about transition so that graduates can feel confident going into the workplace? And is that at the start of the third year for undergraduate?
Is that exploration stage really a stage, or is it more an iteration and a set of skills that you should have kind of throughout your life?
Exploring the opportunities around students in their regions, connected to their university, but we're also talking about exploring self. So the personal narratives that they hold, the values, the interests, that kind of thing, that help shape how they see their career path and how they fit in the world.
But I think there is a fundamental tension that we don't talk about enough, which is that quite rightly an institution cares about all its students and all its students' outcomes. And an employer may be interested in that conversation and might be quite enlightened in helping with that. But bottom line, they've got hires to fill.
At the start of your module, you get this very fancy page where it's like, these are the skills you're going to develop by the end of your module. And then at the end of your module, you may look back at it and you're like, I don't really know what I did to develop these skills. I've read some content, I've written some essays, I got some marks, but it's very hard to see straight away how those translate into skills.
How the sense of belonging and the sense of how you develop as a young person is, you can't necessarily expect them to be engaging in careers before they've engaged with, I'm a successful student. So actually some of the practical things, like how do you actually do research when you come to uni, and how do you find out that stuff, and how do you present on it and articulate your ideas, and how do you take feedback and make it work for you?
Young people do not change jobs as much as people think they do. It's a myth. And actually young people are staying in jobs longer when they graduate than they used to.